President Trump's second term begins. A night of boasts, protests, and bold policy unveiling. Tuesday night witnessed a spectacle unlike any other in American political history. President Donald Trump, in a primetime address to a joint session of Congress, the longest in U.S. history, clocking in at a staggering 1 hour and 40 minutes, delivered a bold and controversial declaration of his administration's intentions for the next 4 years. His speech, a potent mix of self-congratulation, policy pronouncements, and thinly veiled threats, was met with a chorus of cheers from his Republican allies and a cacophony of protests from Democrats. The president wasted no time in outlining his ambitious agenda. He boasted about the swift and unrelenting action his administration had taken, citing nearly 100 executive orders and over 400 executive actions implemented since his return to power. This sweeping assertion, however, was immediately met with skepticism from the opposition. Democrats, many carrying signs reading "lies" and "false," visibly expressed their disapproval throughout the speech. Their protests, however, only seemed to fuel Trump's confidence as he continued to tout his achievements, often interjecting personal anecdotes and asides. A key component of Trump's address was his aggressive stance on downsizing the federal workforce. He heaped praise on his billionaire advisor, Elon Musk, head of the newly formed Department of Government Efficiency, crediting him with spearheading this significant undertaking. This mention, however, was immediately countered by Democrats brandishing signs reading "Musk steals," highlighting concerns about Musk's role and potential conflicts of interest. The tension in the chamber was palpable, a stark contrast to the boisterous chants of USA erupting from the Republican side. Trump's foreign policy pronouncements were equally audacious. He expounded upon his America First doctrine only days after a highly publicized and reportedly contentious meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This meeting, according to reports, saw Trump and Senator J.D. Vance sharply criticizing Zelensky's perceived lack of deference. Despite this, Trump claimed to have received assurances from Zelensky of a willingness to return to the negotiating table to end the conflict with Russia, a claim seemingly corroborated by strong signals from Moscow, according to Trump. He painted a rosy picture of peace, punctuating his claim with the rhetorical question, "Wouldn't that be beautiful?" This vision of peace, however, was juxtaposed with his aggressive assertions regarding U.S. expansionism. He declared that his administration was actively working on reclaiming the Panama Canal and reiterated his intention to acquire Greenland, stating with characteristic bravado, "One way or the other, we're going to get it." The president's claims of a decisive electoral victory, citing a map that reads almost completely red for Republican, further inflamed the already tense atmosphere. Democrats responded with heckling and booing, forcing the House Speaker to repeatedly bang his gavel to maintain order. Representative Al Green, a Democrat from Texas who recently filed articles of impeachment against Trump, was even removed from the chamber for refusing to be seated after loudly proclaiming, "You don't have a mandate." Trump's claim of a mandate for bold and profound change. Despite winning by a narrow margin of 1.5 points, the smallest victory margin for a successful presidential candidate since Richard Nixon in 1968, further highlighted the deep divisions within the nation. Adding fuel to the fire, Trump's address came mere hours after he initiated a trade war with 3 major U.S. trading partners, sending financial markets into a tailspin and raising serious concerns about inflation. The imposition of 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada, coupled with a doubling of tariffs on Chinese products, sparked immediate anxieties about the potential economic consequences. Trump, however, remained defiant, vowing tit-for-tat retaliation, "Whatever they tariff us, we tariff them," and confidently predicting that these policies would ultimately boost the economy and create jobs. Economists, however, have voiced concerns that these policies could harm consumers and exacerbate inflation. He even attributed the soaring price of eggs to his predecessor's energy policies, while simultaneously promising that his national energy emergency would usher in a new era of domestic drilling. Trump's entrance into the chamber was met with thunderous applause from the Republican side, a stark contrast to the stony silence of many Democrats. He seemed to relish the partisan divide, chiding the Democrats with the rhetorical question, "Why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America?" Several Democrats chose to leave the speech early, highlighting the deep polarization of the event. One notable absence was Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who instead shared her live reactions on the social media platform Blue Sky. The evening also included poignant moments. Trump paused his speech to sign an executive order renaming a wildlife refuge after a 12-year-old girl who was tragically killed. The girl's mother, visibly emotional, watched from the gallery. The president also highlighted guests intended to underscore his administration's policies, including family members of those killed by undocumented immigrants and anti-trans activists. This carefully curated selection of guests served to emphasize the key themes of his administration. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries encouraged his colleagues to attend the address, urging a strong, determined, and dignified Democratic presence. Many heeded his call, bringing with them fired federal workers and individuals reliant on social safety net programs threatened by Republican budget proposals. However, a notable number of Democrats opted to skip the event, preferring alternative means of expressing their dissent. The Democratic response was delivered by newly elected Senator Elissa Slotkin of Michigan, a clear signal of the party's intent to engage in the national conversation. The event concluded with a deep sense of uncertainty and division, leaving many to ponder the implications of Trump's ambitious and often controversial agenda.